It's been a long and strenuous journey for me, but today, or technically 2 days ago, I have reached the pinnacle of Wuthering Waves account levels, and that is Union level 60. I have finally made it, my friends. If you're not familiar, the reason that Union level 60 is such a big deal in Wuthering Waves is it's the first level that you can actually bring your characters up to level 90 themselves. So this is the level cap. They can't go any further. This is the actual end game Union level once you hit 60. If you look here, you'll see that I'm getting pretty comfortable here at Union level 60. I have Jinhsi at 90 and a couple other main DPS characters at level 90. So I'm not doing too bad, but I was not capping with you guys that it was a long and strenuous journey. I did my best to prepare for it. I thought I knew what I was supposed to do and that I would just be, you know, ding dong ready to go as soon as I hit 60. But I started to learn very quickly that what I had done was definitely not enough, and that I even over farmed for certain things when I should have been farming something else. So in this video, I'd like to take my experience in getting to level 60 and relay that to you guys so you can learn from my mistakes and sort of prepare yourself the best that you can for Union level 60. Because let me tell you, you're gonna hit a wall if you don't prepare right. I think that because the game's been out for so long now, we all sort of fell into this trap where we feel like we're in the end game, right? Because we've been playing the game for a while, we're kind of used to it, and we haven't had to level up characters for a while. So we just kind of go buck wild on Tacid fields, and we're like, well, I'm just gonna echo farm for the rest of my days and just keep rolling and hope I get lucky. But I really went way too hard on those because now I feel completely starved for materials. I did do some material farming, but I think that I was prioritizing the wrong materials. So in this section of the video, I want to give you a list of the things I think you should focus on first, and then kind of the less important stuff as we go on. The first thing you need to do is choose which characters you want to get to level 90 right away. And in my opinion, you should only choose 3 characters, and they should all just be the main DPS that you have for your TOA teams. So really me, I focused on Jinhsi very hard, and then Jian and Encore kind of came after. I was kind of pre-farming for Changli at the same time as Encore, so it was kind of 2 birds with 1 stone, but really focus on these main DPS. I'm not even worried about my sub DPS and supports yet, because I'm telling you, it takes so many materials, there's no chance that you can get all 9 characters, so it's going to be best to focus on the main damage dealers who are going to be on field most of the time and are going to be dealing out the majority of the damage, right? As for the things you need to farm right away, in my opinion, your top priority and what you should run the most is the skill and weapon materials, because in this game we have the same material for both skills and weapon, and you're going to need an absolute crap ton of these for each talent, right? And the thing is that once you hit Union level 60, it's not like you get guaranteed yellow drops. It's pretty much the same. I'll be completely honest with you, you get the same stuff. So in my opinion, probably 50% of your time should go into running these forgery challenge. I know they're probably the most annoying to run, or at least in my opinion they are, but these are really what you should prioritize, because this is what you're going to run out of the quickest. The second thing that you need to prioritize is all of the simulation challenge materials. So I'm talking shell credits, I'm talking resonator XP, and also weapon XP, and you need pretty much an equal amount of all of them. The thing is though, this should not be your top priority. In fact, I would recommend you only spend about 25% of your stamina on this. The reason is, as you can see, I have an absolute crap ton of all of this stuff. I personally probably spent about 75% of my stamina on this, and then maybe 20% on the skill materials. I have 3 characters at level 90, and I haven't even dipped into my orange XP materials yet. And as you can see, I have over 2 million shell credits up here. So way more than I needed, and I am absolutely starved for skill materials. So this stuff is important, but as I said, maybe 50% skill materials and 25% simulation challenge materials. Another reason this ratio might be so skewed is that if you look at all of the events so far, most of the rewards from those have been like resonator XP or shell credits or weapon XP, whereas there's not so many skill materials, right? Maybe 1 or 2 here and there, but not too many. So you really are going to have to farm to get those skill materials, while you'll get the XP stuff just kind of naturally through events and stuff like that. So at this point, I've told you that 50% of your stamina should go towards skill materials, while 25 should go towards XP and monies. So we have 25% of our stamina left. What do I think we should do with that? Well, most of it, I think you should keep doing what you've probably already been doing, and that is grinding some Tacid fields. Because while we do want to get our characters to level 90 as soon as possible and get that level differential in the center tower as small as possible, we can't forget about echoes, because once a character's level 80, they're really going to start to scale off the echoes more, and you're going to gain a lot more damage from getting a really great set than you are from just getting your talents up a couple more levels, right? So we can't completely forego echoes. We have to farm them still a little bit. And just like I said with the skill materials, once you hit union level 60, the difference in drops that you get from when you're union level 50 is not very substantial. You're basically getting the same amount of stuff, same amount of echo drops, same amount of tuners and XP. So don't feel like you're griefing yourself if you're spending a little stamina on this from 50 to 60. And we definitely should not forget about it. Maybe spend about 20% of your stamina on Tacid fields. So after Tacid fields, we've only got 5% of our stamina allocation left. And you might be thinking, why is that such a little amount? Why should I only spend 5% on this next thing? Well, let me tell you, that next thing is the ascension materials from your bosses, right? So this is actually one of the biggest increases that you'll get, in my opinion, from union level 50 to union level 60. Rather than being guaranteed 3 and having a chance at 4, it's going to be a guaranteed 4 with a chance at 5 for these ascension materials. So in my opinion, that 5% you should farm only for one main DPS. So if you have Jinhsi, make sure that you can immediately get her up to level 90. And I can't stress enough how important it is for you to immediately get your main DPS up to 90, because when you hit union level 60 and you get to the next SOL phase, things are going to have a lot of health, especially world bosses, especially the weekly bosses. They're not necessarily hard and going to kill you, but they have a lot more health. You're going to need to actually go through real rotations, right? You're not just going to be able to skill with Jinhsi and watch them die. It's going to take some time to do them. So I definitely recommend you at least pre-farm all of your ascension materials for your main DPS. But past that, I do not think it's worth it. I think you should save and wait for that guaranteed 4 or 5 drops, because really you don't need your other main 2 DPS right away unless you're like right at the deadline of when TOA is going to end. But I think it's more worth to just wait. You can really get all of these ascension materials in 1 day's worth of stamina if you do wait to get that guaranteed 4 and a chance at 5. Whereas if you did it when you still have a chance at just getting 3 for each one, you can stretch that out over multiple days, and that just feels bad. So would definitely wait and just pre-farm your ascension materials with that last 5% of your stamina for one main DPS. All right, let's put it in short list form and give you a quick overview of all the things you need to do before you hit union level 60. First thing you need to do is choose your 3 main DPS if you haven't already, and really lock them in, because you don't want to be bouncing around and farming the wrong materials and have wasted your stamina and not have enough to level those that you're going to bring up to 90. And the first thing to prioritize spending your stamina on is actually going to be skill materials. You should spend about 50% of all of your stamina on these skill materials and just focus on the ones that you're going to be putting into those main DPS and their weapons. Second thing to prioritize is going to be all the simulation challenge materials. So I'm talking money, I'm talking XP materials. Focus on that, maybe about 25% of your total stamina allocation on those level up materials. Third thing to prioritize is the Tacid fields. We can't forget about them. We're going to be griefing our account if we totally throw echo farming to the wayside. We still need that steady flow. So I'd say maybe about 20% of your stamina into Tacid fields. And lastly, only spend about 5% of your total stamina from union level 50 to union level 60 on your ascension materials purely for your main DPS. So my queen Jinhsi, if you're a Gion main, do him. Encore mains, where you at? Just focus on those guys at first. But past that, guys, that's really all we can do. That's my best advice for you. Of course, there's the simple things like finish all your events, finish all the quests you can to kind of stockpile all the materials that you can when you hit this big wall at union level 60. But that's really all we can do, guys. If you're about to hit union level 60, congratulations. It feels awesome. It feels like I'm finally in the end game. It feels great to have a character at level 90. It feels like I'm just like done farming for her forever. She's like an actual fully built Jinhsi now. Maybe you need to get these ratios a little better, but other than that, she's looking great. If there's anything I forgot that you should really prepare for before you hit 60, please let us all know down in the comments. I'd love for you to share. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more Wuthering Waves content. I really appreciate you watching this far, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.